Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Thank you for hanging out with George and I right here on The Local Show. I'm Tom Soccocio Jr., the creative director at Zoe Advertising. This is a Zoe Advertising production, and I'm with George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting today, because Steve's off on another vacation.
He's out having a good time. I'm Steve in a box. So he's having a good time, and we're working for him.
That's it. Well, that's good. He deserves it. Sort of. So
keep saying it.
Yeah, right. I keep kind of putting that in my head. So, we're having a good time here. Did you know that you're also on camera, George? I don't know if you knew that.
I have, because I looked at myself some other time and realized, who's that bald guy?
Right.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, golly. Yeah, we have cameras all over the place, and that's because we have the Zoe Advertising YouTube channel. So Brad, our video guy in the back, is doing all sorts of camera angles on us and then producing it and putting it up on YouTube so everybody can kind of pull back the curtain and see what we're all about.
So nobody pick their nose.
Right. Nobody pick your nose or, put your hands anywhere they're not supposed to be.
There you go.
All right. Very good. Just so you know. Yeah, go to YouTube and then like and subscribe that YouTube channel, and then you'll get notifications every time we post one of those little nuggets. Right now, we're going to talk with Neal Carr, a perennial favorite here at The Local Show, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. How are you there, Neal?
Doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. You know what I brought out this past week?
What's that?
Was the custom-made cover for my central air conditioning that Prime put in.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
I made a very elaborate thing. Like when I asked Neal what to do for the winter for the central air, he said, a lot of people just take like a little plank of 3/4 inch plywood and just set it on top. And so what did I do? I went out and bought pressure treated lumber, and I made like a little fence and a top and it's really way
Over
too
the top,
elaborate.
Tom.
Way over the top. The thing looks like a piece of furniture. So anyway, but I got that
it's
all
protected
going on.
though. There you go.
Right.
That's what matters.
Nothing should hurt that thing. So Neal, tell us, tell the audience what you do and what you and your brothers are all about.
Yeah. So Prime Heating and Air, we're a full service and installation HVAC company, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and 24-hour service, emergency service, all that good stuff. Just any heating or AC issues, we're your guys.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of calls now that the weather's got a little colder in the last couple days?
Yeah. You got these 65, 70-degree days still in here. It hasn't gotten too crazy on the service side. We're still putting a lot of new equipment in, replacing a lot of furnaces and boilers and that kind of thing, doing some ductless. So definitely staying busy. And then once that cold temperature rolls in, the service side will pick up.
You talk about installing new furnaces.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of new technology going on with that. If a person had a furnace, for how long, 5 years, 10 years, 20, should they be considering replacing them with a newer model? Yeah,
so a lot of it too depends on what kind of furnace they have, as far as, is it still mid efficiency or is it one of the older high efficiency furnaces? If it's high efficiency and you're 10, 15 years old and it's running well, keep rolling with it. Average life of a furnace in this area is, around 20 years or so. So after that, it's kind of like a car. You got an older car, you start to put parts in here and there. You start to gauge, all right, I'm putting, 2 or 3 service calls in, a year on this. Maybe it's time to start thinking, replacement, instead of putting, good money into an older furnace.
What about the old octopuses? Are they
They're still
relevant?
around. Yeah, we run into them every now and then. We've taken a few of them out. Those are still out there, surprisingly. Yeah, they're tanks. They just run, and if people don't care about as long as it's coming on and keeping the house warm, and the bills and the efficiency, and it's not an issue to them, then they just.
But
run them.
you take those kinds of things out and then put in another one.
Yeah. Kind of reroute the ductwork to the new one, because obviously it's different. But yeah, it's definitely easily done.
Right.
It's just a little extra added cost.
Are all of those ducts with the octopuses? Are they all filled with asbestos? Is that all asbestos?
Usually it's on the outside.
On the outside, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so if we go in and the ductwork and furnace has that on there, that has to be remediated before we're allowed to, mess with it.
Gosh. People who are of our vintage, our age, George, have you ever hit your head on those pipes?
Hit my head on more things you can possibly imagine.
I just remember going into basements
Yes.
at families' houses, and you always scrape your head on those big octopus things.
Yeah.
They run that all over.
Yeah,
Well,
big old ductwork.
Prime Heating and Air can take care of that. What's the big difference between you and some of the other companies out there? Is it the products that you carry, or the way that you do service? What is it?
I think it's just the biggest thing. I think is just the attitude and what we're going in, looking at and doing. Furnaces are furnaces. Most of the technology today is across all brands. It's across all manufacturers. One company does something, the next year the other ones are doing it. So equipment is very, very similar across the board. Some obviously may offer different things than others do, but for the majority of it, they're all pretty much the same. The biggest thing is the quality of the installation. You can have a great furnace if it's not installed right, it's not going to last. You can have a lower model and it's installed right and it'll last you forever. So quality of the installation is key. We really try to pride ourselves on that. And then, as far as the service side goes, it's just going in, addressing the issue that we were called for. But at the same time, kind of looking over the entire system while we're there. And if we see things that need addressed, we'll bring it up. But we're going in there, every service call, we're not going in to try to sell a new furnace.
Right.
We're going in to assess the furnace, assess its age, condition, and then be honest with the customer. Like, hey, you're putting some good money into a machine that really isn't worth it. Or, hey, you've got a good machine here. Let's just fix this and keep rolling.
Are there any products that you sell that could mitigate, health hazards in the house, like viruses and COVID and everything?
Yeah, they have whole house air purifiers that you can install right into the furnace or the ductwork. That is,
and you have those
doing stuff with the air. Yeah, we have those. We can get those. Usually I like to send people links to the ones that we kind of offer and allow people to do their research and read up, and because we're going off what we're being told as well, as far as what they're doing, how they're doing it, why it works,
how effective they are, and all that.
Yeah, so there's a lot, all the websites include a lot of testing and test data and all that stuff. So I really like people to have that information up front and do some research on their own so they feel comfortable with it. Do
you recommend that people have humidifiers during the winter?
Yeah, I think it's really a personal choice. Some people, they don't know the difference with or without one. Then you've got people that have, complain of, really dry skin in the winter, or, just a dry
bleeding noses.
Yeah. Everything's dry, a little itchy skin, dry skin, that kind of thing. So the humidifier is definitely going to put some moisture back into the air to help with that. And heavier, more moisture air, it's going to, the heat's going to hold, better. And you don't have, helps alleviate those kind of hot and cold places around the house to try to, the whole goal is to kind of even out the temperature throughout the house.
Did not realize
and
that.
The feel.
Really quickly, let's talk some politics here.
Yeah.
Is the government making you put in all electric stuff, or what's the deal?
Yeah, they're not making us, but they're definitely incentivizing, towards it. I think it's got its place, it's got a...
How will that affect what you carry in the future here?
It doesn't really affect anything as far as what we're doing now. We're already putting in heat pumps, electric heat pumps, ductless electric equipment, and it all has its place, and it's really high efficient. And I don't know if going away from gas 100% is the key, but hey, it's definitely a good start. And then having that as the gas as the backup is a good system to have.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Neal Carr, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air, with his brothers. You can reach them at 802-4287, 802-4287, primeheatandair.com if you want to take a look at the whole family and what they do. Okay. Thank you so much, Neal, and you have a great rest of the day. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. out, Tom.
Thanks,
nice
Neal.
to meet you, George. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Coming up next, we're going to take a deep dive into Aquatic World with John Pratt, who's the managing director of Aquatic World, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.